Hello, hi, it's Dr. Biology here, and this is a video on AQA GCSE Biology and the principles of organisation. So this video is part of a group of videos on the specification item 4.2, which is related to organisation. This video is going to talk about how cells are the basic building blocks of all living organisms, and then look at how they group together as tissues, and then talk a bit about organs. And a particular organ system that the AQA exam board want you to know about is the human digestive system. As you probably already know, I love specifications. I'll tell you why I love specifications is because it's telling you exactly what the examiner wants you to learn. Okay, so I've copied a bit of the spec related to the principles of organisation. As you can see on the content, it tells you exactly the content that you need to know, and that's something I'm going to go through with you in a minute. But also, if you look on the right hand side here, it says key opportunities for skills development. Well, one of those skills is a mathematical skill. Okay, you need to know certain mathematical skills in biology, as 10% of the GCSE covers math skills. Don't panic though. These math skills are not difficult, alright? With a bit of practice, you'll be fine. So, if you look at Math Skills 1C, it says students should be able to develop an understanding of size and scale in relation to cells, tissues, organs and organ systems. Well, I looked at the mathematical requirements, and that means using ratios, fractions and percentages. We'll talk about that later. As you've hopefully seen from a previous Dr. Biology video, you will know that cells are the basic building block of all living organisms. And here we have an example of a plant cell, and we have an example of an animal cell. These obviously don't live on their own. To have an organism, such as an animal or a fully grown plant, you need them to be what we call multicellular, meaning many cells. Large multicellular organisms may contain billions of cells, and they have to overcome problems linked to their size. As we know, they've evolved in different ways of exchanging materials. During the development of a multicellular organism, cells differentiate to become specialized to carry out a particular job. However, the adaptations of multicellular organisms goes beyond specialized cells, and similar specialized cells are found grouped together, and they're grouped together to form tissue. So, here are 4 types of tissue. A tissue can be defined as a group of cells with similar structure and function working together. Muscular tissue can contract to bring about movement. Epithelial tissue covers the outside of your body as well as your internal organs. And nervous tissue is found throughout the body and allows electrical impulses to pass through to different parts. So when you get a collection of several different types of tissue, and they're all working together to perform a specific function, this is known as an organ. So for example, in a human, you have many different organs, such as your lungs, your liver, your pancreas and so on. Some of those organs are obviously more important than others, but they're made of a collection of several different types of tissue. And not to forget plants as well. You need to remember in your specification you need to know about plants as well, because plants are as important, if not more important, than animals at the end of the day, and I'll tell you about that in a later video. But things like roots, stems and leaves are known as organs, plant organs. Here's an example of an important organ, the stomach, involved in the digestion of food. So it has different, you can see, the first one is smooth muscle tissue, the stomach, and that allows the food to be churned and digestive juices to mix together in the stomach. The digestive juices are being produced by by glandular tissues. Glandular tissues are secreting the digestive juices such as hydrochloric acid and the enzymes used in digestion. And then epithelial tissues, these things, okay, they cover the inside and outside of the organs to protect it. You also have loose connective tissue, so tissue all working together to perform a specific function. So this means that all of these kind of different types of organisation all come together. So a whole multicellular organism is made up of a number of organ systems. So we can see that from cells you get tissue, and then from tissue you get organs, and then from organs you get an organ system, which then results in an organism. In humans, this results in there being many different types of organ systems, and particularly one of the most important organ systems we're going to look at later is the digestive system. To recap then, so you have cells as the basic building block of organisms, and then tissues as a group of cells with the same function. So for example, with epithelial cells you get epithelial tissue, and you get organs with several different types of tissue such as the stomach, and then they come together to make the digestive system, for example, and then that will make an organism. Okay, let's have a look at a couple of exam questions. So this first exam question is relatively simple in terms of it saying it wants the order of size from smallest to largest. You've got to use the words in this box, okay? And it does conveniently largest. Are as follows, so cells into tissue, and then tissue becomes organ, and finally organ to organ systems. Okay, so this next question says the stomach is made of different types of tissue, and it says draw one line from each type of stomach tissue to the correct description. So what you need to do is obviously read the types of tissue and read the descriptions, and then make a decision on which line to join them. Now obviously you can, if you don't know some of the answers, you can possibly go for one that you do. So for example, one answer you might know is related to muscular tissue. Okay, so muscular tissue, we know that it allows food to be churned around the stomach because it contracts. So that would be an easy one. Let's say you didn't know the other two though, so you would need to read through and think, well, what does epithelial and glandular tissue do? Well, it's nothing really to do with nerve impulses, so I'm going to cross that one out. I'm not going to include that one. And then I'm going to look at possibly glandular tissue. So I know glands produce forms of juices and hormones, so it produces digestive juices. So therefore epithelial tissue must cover the outside and inside of the stomach. So here's another similar style of question. Well, no, actually it's a different style of question, but again related to stomach tissue. So they give you some information here. So they give you the parts of the body that digest and absorb food. They show you the stomach wall, and also these cells lining the stomach. It says complete the table to show whether it's an organ system, or a tissue. So you need to tick one box each for each structure. So let's look at the ones we might know. So well, you got stomach, cells lining the stomach, and then a range of organs in the digestive system. So I'm going to go for the cells lining the stomach first, because I know that that is epithelial tissue. So I would put a tick in that box. Next one I'll go for is stomach, because I know stomach is made of several different types of tissue that makes an organ. So therefore it only leaves one other thing, which is the organs, shows an organ system, which is the digestive system. In the next section, there's a lot of information about the human digestive system. Now, hopefully, in your studies in year 7 and 8, you would have studied the digestive system and know the parts. If you don't, you need to learn the parts and the functions of the digestive system. Okay, because in my next video I'm going to talk about the importance of enzymes in the digestive system, so how do enzymes work, and also to look at how enzymes might be affected by factors such as temperature and pH. I hope you've found this video useful. If you're not already subscribed, then please do so, because I'm going to be doing lots more videos to help you with your preparation for your GCSE biology or GCSE combined science exams. Thanks very much, and I hope you found it useful.